Namaste everyone. Thank you for joining in yet another video on this channel. And in today's video, we are continuing with the series where we are understanding Saturn's transit into Pisces in the year 2025 for all the rising signs or the moon signs. Okay. And in today's video, we will be looking at the impact of Saturn's transit into Pisces for Cancer moon or Cancer rising. Okay. And remember that Saturn is a very traumatizing planet for Cancer ascendants or Cancer moon because it rules the seventh house and the eighth house. Okay, both the seventh house is a Marak house and the eighth house is a very traumatizing house. Okay, so Saturn is pretty severe on people having Cancer ascendant or Cancer moon. Okay, but then when Saturn has moved into Pisces in the year 2025, it has moved into the ninth house for Cancer moon or Cancer rising people. And this ninth house transit Saturn is actually impacting the 11th house, the third house, as well as the sixth house. Okay. So, as I said in my previous videos, as I've mentioned in my previous videos, the house where Saturn transits becomes the focal point for the native in that 2.5 years of where Saturn remains. Okay. And the houses impacted by transit are also going to impact the native in some way or the other. The houses which are looked at by Saturn, where Saturn casts its drishti. Okay. So if you look at Cancer moon or Cancer rising natives, Saturn is moving to the ninth house. Okay. So they had a very traumatizing 2.5 years where Saturn was there in the eighth house. Now Saturn has moved into the ninth house, and this means that these people are now going to travel. Okay, pathways are going to open up. Remember, ninth house is the house of dharma. Ninth house is the house of the father. Ninth house is the house of higher education. So if you are Cancer moon or Cancer rising, Saturn's transit into Pisces, which of course is happening in your ninth house, it could make you travel for pilgrimage or travel to religious places or maybe some temples. Okay, and I know a friend of mine who is traveling to the Ram Mandir, recently constructed Ram Mandir in Ayodhya. Okay, and he is having this Cancer moon. Okay, so it can make you travel for pilgrimage. It can cause certain impact in your father's health. Okay, it can also cause an impact on the relationship with authorities or with bosses, especially at a workplace. Okay, so all of a sudden you might realize that your boss has become too demanding or too cranky, or your father's health has been impacted, and now you are having to pay more attention to your father's health and so on. So from the ninth house, Saturn is looking at the 11th house by its third aspect. So what it means is you have to make efforts in building new network circles, new friends. Okay, your old friends or your old network circles are no longer going to align with your beliefs. You will find yourself being slowly drawn away from those people who, who belong to your network circles, and try to forge new connections with other people who are going to support you in your agenda in the next 2.5 years. Okay. And this would also create issues with your elder siblings, particularly your elder brother or elder sister if you have, or it can also cause frictions between your elder cousins. Okay. And the 11th house, remember, it is the Trishadaya, the highest evil house. Okay, so it can cause certain health issues with regards to this transit in this 2.5 years. Okay. From the ninth house, Saturn is directly looking at the third house. So this means your efforts are going to be rewarded. So whatever efforts you were putting in the last 2.5 years, whether they were delayed or whether they were denied, but now, you will find that those efforts are slowly but surely starting to bear fruit. Okay, remember, Saturn moves very, very slowly, and it gives results very slowly. Whether it's a bad result, whether it's a good result, it gives very slowly. So whatever efforts you had put in terms of, in terms of career, in terms of finances, in terms of your relationships, all those efforts are now going to bear fruit. You are now going to enjoy the fruits of your labor as such. The third house also represents the house of the house of short distance travel, as well as the house of secret affairs. Okay, so you might find yourself taking short distance travels to go to different places, or you might meet someone new. Say you have been single for a long time. Now this is the time where you actually can meet someone new. Remember, third house represents restaurants and movie theaters and pubs. Okay, so maybe if you're looking to find someone, you can visit these places, to find someone new in terms of your love life. Okay. From the 12th, from the ninth house, Saturn is also impacting the sixth house. So this is another good news because Saturn actually gives failure, by its 10th aspect. So this can actually end your legal issues. If you're having legal issues, say you're a Cancer moon or Cancer rising and you're going through legal issues or certain issues related to, your servants or people who work under you, then these issues are going to come to an end. Okay, Saturn represents the end of all things, right? So these issues are going to come to an end. If you're facing certain health issues in the last 2.5 to 3 years, your health is going to recover. You are going to recover from that. Okay, and of course, as I don't want to contradict myself by saying that, just a few moments before I said that since Saturn is looking at your 11th house, you will be undergoing new health issues, but those old health issues which you were going through because of various reasons in the last 2.5 years, those things are going to come to an end, hopefully. Okay. And Saturn also impacts the affairs of the house where it casts its 10th aspect, where it looks by its 10th aspect. So your routine life is going to go for a toss. All of a sudden you will find that your eating routine or your sleeping routine or your study routine or your, morning routine or your afternoon routine, everything has been disrupted, and all of a sudden now you are forced to adopt to new routines. Okay, so you are forced to make changes to your daily routine, right? So that is my assessment of Saturn in Pisces for Cancer moon or Cancer rising. Please leave behind your comments in the feedback section, and I'll be very, very happy to hear from you. Last but not the least, if you want a consultation, you can always reach out at the number provided in the description box. And if you have any doubts, you can always WhatsApp me at the given number. You'll always get a response, that I can assure you. Please share this content with your friends and family if you think it's going to benefit them. Please subscribe to the channel if you think it deserves to be subscribed. And I'll see you soon in yet another video. Namaste. Om Gurave Namah.